Good evening and welcome to HPU News.
And I'm Sydney Goldberg. Tonight we hear from Mary Lou Danley, wife of Las Vegas shooter.
And we get an update on the situation in Catalonia, Spain.
And one country celebrates its first same-sex marriage.
But first, October is finally here. But is it bringing colder weather? Meteorologist Kit Karras has more. Kit?
Thanks, Dave. It's great to be back and bring you guys the weather. So for today, for our national pressures, over here in the northwest area is going to be some low pressure systems, which means they will get some sporadic temperatures. And over here in the Midwest area, Plain States, it will be a high pressure system, so that means more moderate temperatures. They won't be experiencing a lot of rain. And then over here in our northeast area, it's going to be similar high pressure system, same with us over here. But the thing is, as you can see, this low pressure system is going to be coming up and bringing us maybe some rain. And for our national temperatures, over here in the northwest, it's going to be around mid-40s to mid-50s to high 40s. And then over here in the Midwest, it's still going to be around the same thing as last week, so high 50s. And then in the Plain States, they're still cooling down, but they're still pretty warm. It is going to be a high of 78 and a low 52. And then over here in the Northeast, it's going to be a high of 77, but it will have a low of 62. And over here on the East Coast where we are, it's going to be a high of 81 with some low 70s. And right down here in the best state, it did cool down a little bit for you guys in Florida. It's going to be still a high of 79, but it's not as hot as it was last week. And for your 7-day forecast for us here in High Point, today we're experiencing a high of 81 and a low of 58 tonight, so it's still pretty cool at night. And then on Friday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 73 and a low of 63, so it is warming up. And then on Saturday, there is 20% chance of rain, so not too high, but it will be pretty warm, 80 degrees with a low of 68. And then on Sunday, 80% chance of rain, but it will be 78 degrees, so that will cool us down a touch. And then it will be a low of 68 in the evening. And then on Monday, it will be 70% chance of rain, so you will be expecting some rain on Monday with a high of 78 and a low of 72 at night. And then on Tuesday, it's going to be heating back up. Still a 70% chance of rain, but it will be a little bit more sunny with a high of 85 and a low of 70 in the evening. And then on Wednesday, it'll be still partly cloudy, 60% chance of rain with a high of 82. So you will get some rain and some pretty warm temperatures, but that's what you guys can expect for this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Kit. With mornings dropping into the 50s, fall should be right around the corner.
And now, in Las Vegas, new details emerging every day. We're learning now that shooter Stephen Paddock, who is responsible for the deaths of at least 58 people, had booked hotel rooms overlooking other music festivals. It's been discovered that Paddock never checked in at his room facing the Chicago-based Lollapalooza Festival, where over 100,000 people attended daily. TMZ reported the room Paddock booked would have given him a bird's-eye view of the venue, similar to the Las Vegas room.
Mary Lou Danley, wife of Las Vegas shooter, voluntarily flew back to the U.S. to tell FBI last night that she never expected he was capable of such violence. Danley claims that she thought her husband's surprise gift of a plane ticket to the Philippines, then him wiring her several $1,000s, was a way to break up with her, and it never had occurred to her to me whatsoever that he was planning on violence against anyone. She plans on cooperating fully with the FBI investigation.
Across the pond in Spain now, we're learning that the Spanish government has suspended the Catalan parliamentary session, where Catalonia was expected to announce its independence. The King of Spain delivered a stern warning in a TV address on Tuesday, saying Catalan leaders had acted outside the law and accused them of disloyalty. The response by Catalonia's President Carles Puigdemont was a strongly worded attack where he said, "You disappoint many people in Catalonia who would appreciate you and are expecting a call to dialogue." An unofficial report says that 90% of voters in Catalonia chose to secede.
Germany celebrated its first same-sex wedding after a new law got put into force, putting gay and lesbian couples equally legal footing as heterosexual couples. Germany introduced registered partnerships in 2002, but those gave some same-sex couples fewer rights, and there was 43,000 registered couples in 2016, while most are expected to be converted into marriages this coming months.
Good news over in Germany. Now, we bring things back home to High Point, where Ali Ortolani gives us our campus update. Ali?
Thanks, Dave. We had an exciting weekend last week with our fall concert. This weekend, we have even more fun with High Point University's homecoming weekend. Tomorrow, Friday, is filled with walking tours and an alumni awards ceremony and more activities. Be sure to check out the art exhibit, Hunt, Seed, and Acquisition by Ellie Schweisner from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you missed the art exhibit on Friday, don't worry, Saturday, October 7th, it will be open to the public. Then, from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, the Panther pregame tailgate is taking place at the Vert Stadium. Following the tailgate is the men's lacrosse exposition game versus Catawba College. From field games to the announcement of the 2017 homecoming court, you're not going to want to miss this. And if you've been wanting to catch a movie with friends, this Saturday, the viewing of Despicable Me will take place in the Extraordinaire Cinema. Complimentary popcorn and candy and drinks are included. Then on this Saturday, if you have the opportunity to celebrate Halloween a little early with the a cappella performances by the Pedal Points, Offbeats, and the Talkatoons. And if you love the Charcoal Pony during Parents Weekend, another improv show takes place this Saturday at 5 p.m. Enjoy an exciting show full of laughter and fun. Lastly, on Sunday, October 8th, gather at the Alumni Memorial Chapel service to honor the alumni faculty along with students that have passed away since October 10th, 2016. Last but not least, it's not too late to get your tickets for the first theater performance of this year, Edward Albee's Seascape. There will be a showing every night until next Wednesday, except on Sunday. Get your tickets online or in the campus concierge. That's all for today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Ali. The play sounded to be fun, but Dave, weren't you once in a play?
Yeah, I was in a play here on campus. It only had like 2 lines. It wasn't very good. That's all I deserved, was those 2 lines.
Well, I'm sure you did good. And now, in Russia's official threats to block access to Facebook if the social media giant refuses to store its data locally, the chief of Federal Communications Agency told Russia's news agencies that they are working to make Facebook comply with the law on personal data. It has been viewed that Russia's attempt to expand control over the internet. While Russian internet freedom activists hope that these international tech companies reject the government's call to give them access of personal data.
70-year-old former football legend O.J. Simpson became a free man again Sunday after serving 9 years for a botched Las Vegas hotel robbery that brought him prison time after he was found not guilty during the trial of the century. He will face restrictions up to 5 years of parole and is unlikely to escape public scrutiny after the famed O.J. Simpson trial.
LeVar Ball, former baseball player and owner of the Big Baller Brands, has decided to pull his 16-year-old son, LaMelo, out of Chino's high school to train him for the next 2 seasons. Father explained several reasons for pulling LaMelo out of high school. Quote, "It is good for Melo, less distractions, he just needs to focus." USA Today explains that the catalyst for this decision was the fight between LeVar and head coach Stefan Gilling last season.
And now joining us is our sports analyst, Kevin McMahon. Kevin, I heard you have a hot take about the Ball family. What do you have to say on this topic?
Well, we could be here all night, but let's just be honest. Can I be honest?
Yes, please, please.
I'm a big Ball family guy. I sent my resume to the Ball family and said, anything you need, if you want me, I'm yours. They have not replied.
Of course.
However, I got, LaMelo Ball is a once-in-a-lifetime player, just like all the Ball family are once-in-a-lifetime basketball players, including LeVar. People forget that. But anyway, LaMelo, you're taking him out. Okay, people are slamming him. People are slamming LeVar for taking LaMelo Ball out of high school. And, it's easy to do. You can sit back and you can slam LeVar. You know what? Here's what they need to do. To make this a success, forget school. They want to homeschool him, which is stop the high school. You want, major in basketball, take him to Europe. Take your bags, take your passport. Put LaMelo Ball in Europe, let him play professionally in Europe. Ricky Rubio, who plays for the Jazz now, the basketball player, played in Spain at 14 years old. LaMelo's 16. He's a huge star. He has his own shoe. He can get a deal. Put him in a Euro League, and he's going to style on him for 2 years. Then he comes back. They put him on the Lakers, and, it's take it back to the garage, brother. Let's go.
Amazing.
Like, it's going to be perfect. It's showtime again in LA. LaMelo, Zoe, and Jello. It's going to happen. But, you know, I digress. How about those High Point Panthers, huh? High Point women's soccer has been on a serious roll lately. Their last two games in a... They won their last two games in a walk-off fashion in overtime. Last Saturday against Radford, Becca Rolfe tied up the game at 1 with a penalty kick goal late in the second half. Paige Rombach had the game winner in the 99th minute to beat the Highlanders 2-1 on Wednesday night. High Point beat Charleston Southern 1-0 thanks to a Brejean Charles goal that came in the 95th minute to give HPU the win in overtime. Up next for the Panthers is a trip to Asheville to take on the UNC Asheville Bulldogs on Saturday at 4 o'clock. HPU men's soccer played App State to a 0-0 draw on Saturday. A big part of the shutout was the stellar performance from Johnny Fennick, who has been named the Big South Defensive Player of the Week on Wednesday night. The Campbell Fighting Camels came to Vert Stadium and they won 1-0 against High Point in what was a highly contested game. Next up for High Point is a trip to Radford, Virginia to play the defending Big South champion Radford Highlanders at 5 o'clock on Saturday. The High Point volleyball team is now 4-0 in the Big South Conference after sweeping the Radford Highlanders 3-0 on Saturday in the Miller Center. Haley Barnes led the way for the Panthers with 15 kills and an ace, while Katie Tileman had 11 kills and 2 blocks. Next up for High Point, they play the Blue Hose of Presbyterian College in Clinton, South Carolina on Friday at 7 o'clock as the Panthers look to remain unbeaten in Big South play. The HPU women's golf team finished 6th in the Starmount Forest Fall Classic. Samantha Vaudry placed in a tie for 11th, shooting 3 over 75 in the third round. Next up for HPU is the Bill Berg Invitational Ridges Golf Club in Hayesville, North Carolina. Brendan McDougall had another standout performance for the HPU men's golf team, finishing in the top 10 at the Wolfpack Invitational. This was his 4th top 10 finish of his career. The next time the Panthers hit the course is October 16th through the 17th at the Phoenix Intercollegiate in Burlington, North Carolina. The host will be Elon University. That's all the sports news I have this week on the Purple and White. I'll try to do better next week. And as always, go Panthers. Back to you guys, Dave and Sydney.
Thanks, Kevin. You never fail us.
Honestly, you have never failed us. And just like animal rescuer Rick Browd, stay tuned for news on the pets of Puerto Rico.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to HPU News. I'm still David Winthrop.
And I'm Sydney Goldberg.
On Friday, September 30th, Rick Browd, CEO of Wings of Rescue, delivered supplies to Puerto Rico and returned with over 90 cats and dogs. Working with the Sato Project, a charity for stray, abandoned, or abused animals in Puerto Rico, Browd delivered 91 cats and dogs to St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center on Saturday morning and 40 more the next day. Browd thinks this will be one of many animal airlifts and says, quote, "We just want to do what's best."
And now we're going to airlift it over to the entertainment expert, Livy Beener, to see what's going on in entertainment business. Livy?
Thanks, guys. Happy October, everyone. This month is full of fall specials in the world of TV as well as movies. This is supposed to be the scariest month in film. We got Happy Death Day coming out next Friday. The story follows a young woman who wakes up in the bed of a fellow college student and goes about her day with a strange sense of deja vu, only to be repeatedly murdered until she figures out who her killer is. Who thinks of these things? And then next Friday, we got Leatherface, which is the origin story of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre saga. This week at the box office, we have American Made, starring Tom Cruise in first place, Kingsman 2 in second place, and it's still holding strong in there at third. It has grossed nearly $300 million since its release almost a month ago. Hopefully it will cross over the $3 million mark this weekend. And the music world has actually been relatively quiet since Miley and Demi both released killer albums last week, while another female powerhouse is set to release an album for the first time since 2012 later this month. Pink released the first single last week. This is the first new music we've heard from her since The Truth About Love, released in 2012. And lastly, this week the music world has been rocked by the death of the legend Tom Petty. He was only 66 and had just finished a world tour. He died of cardiac arrest on Monday night after being removed from life support after hours of fighting. He was surrounded by family, friends, and his fellow band members. Now back to you guys.
And the legend Tom Petty will certainly be missed.
But now, Dave, one California woman is dedicating her life to saving hundreds of lives.
Yes, that's right. Tracy Helton, now dubbed the heroin, has been mailing out doses of Narcan, a life-saving drug that revives people after an overdose.
Helton is well aware of sending prescription drugs over the mail is illegal, but says, quote, "I am sort of an old punk rocker who doesn't need to follow the rules."
That's amazing. That's how I feel. And finally tonight, the aliens are upon us, claims one Wyoming man, Bryant Johnson, charged with public intoxication after delivering his message of impending danger.
Johnson stated that he was sent from year 2048 to warn us that aliens are coming in 2018. He said he could not specify the exact date or time of the alien arrival, but he explained that he received the ability to time travel because the aliens finding his body with alcohol.
When his blood alcohol content was found to be 0.136%, he transported to the Natrona County Detention Center. Let's hope Johnson isn't right about the aliens, or else I think police will have to revoke his ticket.
And that's all we have for tonight, so tune in next week.
I'm David Wintrode.
And I'm Sydney Goldberg. Good night, High Point.